What does Shabbos mean to you? This is Chani Schreiber, and I'd love to delve deeper into this question. So join me in this weekly podcast as we uplift the Shabbos together. Oh, first of all, let me introduce you to the book. This is the book. It's called Shabbos, A Day to Create Yourself. And it's by Rabbi Dr. Warren Goldstein. He's South Africa's chief rabbi. And he started something called the Shabbat Project. I'm sure that you've all heard about the Shabbat Project in some way or another, because it's been going for, a lot of, I think it's already 10 years it's going for, but it became really big in the time of COVID. It just really took off, and it started off in South Africa, and then it just went all over the world. They have really a lot of people who are part of it. Then Rabbi Goldstein wrote this book, and what it is a book about it's not about halacha, it's more about the hashkafa of Shabbos, and that's what we want to talk about. So I first want to thank Rabbi Goldstein for giving me this book, and he gives this out to all the people who want to learn it in groups. You can learn it one-to-one. We're learning it as a group, and I really hope that we can continue doing this on a weekly basis. On a Wednesday is perfect for me, and if you can't keep up every week, just you could have a catch-up on Zoom, on the YouTube channel. So I have a YouTube channel. It's called the Uplifting magazine, and you could watch everything on that. We have everything. We have also the talks that we do for the menopause. We have just a lot of different ones on it. Okay, the next thing I want to do is thank Robin Meyerson. I don't know if you listened to the podcast that I did with her, but it was really opened my eyes to what this project is all about and how much they're accomplished in all the years that they're doing it. And it would be great if you listen to it, because I just think it would open your mind up to what's happening and, what this is all about. It's just an amazing, amazing project. Okay, so now how I want to do this is I'm going to read a little bit about what was written, which, I'm going to go chapter by chapter. So we're up to chapter 1. And what I want to do is we'll discuss, I'll give the main points, and then I would love to have an open conversation if you want to take part. And if you feel that that's not really what you wanted, then I don't mind just talking and talking and talking. You all know that I have no problem talking and talking and talking. Okay, so first of all, Shabbos, it's very interesting because A Day to Create Yourself is a very interesting title if you think about it, because on Shabbos, the one thing that you're not supposed to create something, and here we have on the title of it is Create Yourself. So I thought that was quite interesting to go into, but I'll go into that as we continue. Okay, so it starts off, A Day to Create Yourself. The secret of uncovering the essence of Shabbos begins with how we define work, productivity, and creativity. To survive and thrive in the world, we have to do a lot of work. We work to acquire food, clothing, shelter, to make a living, to build and shape our environment. We are drawn to the measure of what we have accomplished through our work, evaluating our worth by what we have created. So it's saying that if you have a big, let's say a massive dining room set, or you got a fancy watch, that is defining your work. Look, I could afford to have this because I work to do this. And that's what it means to define your work, to define yourself through your work. Okay? But all these things that we can touch and count become symbols of our achievements. This is the one kind of human creativity, but there is another kind that produces accomplishments that are not material, tangible, or quantifiable, that cannot be weighed or measured by price. products that cannot be seen or touched. This is the work of becoming a better person, which I think is quite understandable. It's not something that I have to explain, but what it's trying to say is that the things that you do for yourself to build on your own midas, to make yourself a better person, you can't define it by having a good watch. It's something you don't see. It's a nature that you're working on. Okay, these two kinds of work and creativity bound up with the human identity. We need both. We need to build and shape the physical world around us, and we need to build and shape our inner world. How do we balance the two? How do we find the space and time to engage in two such profoundly different modes of creative work? So what would you think? How do we do that? Does anyone want to come in?
And by working on ourselves, on our midas.
How would you think? I mean, give me some examples. I think we want to go deeper than just, we're working on it. What do you think the deepness of working on yourself would be?
Like there's lots of things, like, if we come back to now, like, menopause that we were talking yesterday, and the mood swings and all of that, it's controlling your anger, your mood swings, trying to, keep it calm, make your house calm and happy, and control.
I think that's exactly what it is. It's about, and I think that's what Shabbos is. Shabbos is all about, being calm, creating that space. That's what it is. It's all working on things that, like you say, it's not tangible. Okay, Shabbos is the answer. It gives divine rhythm and balance to our lives. 6 days you shall work and accomplish all your tasks. From Sunday to Friday, we work to create our material world. And on the 7th day, which is Shabbos, is for Hashem. So everything we're doing is for Hashem. And Hashem is if you look at the thing, we're telling them, okay, we're made in the image of Hashem. So whatever we're doing is not only for us, but it's obviously to be closer to Hashem. It's interesting because this week in the Parsha, you read that Hashem says to Moshe Rabbeinu to count the Leviim separately, right? In Bamidbar, he says, "Vahayu li haLeviim." To me comes the Leviim. Yeah? So why did Hashem single them out? What was so special about them, Okay, so he said, the Medrash addresses this question, and he says that whoever brings Hashem close to him, Hashem in turn, Hashem will make them close. He will create a space for him and that person. So what does that mean? So after when they made the Egel, Hashem saw that the Leviim didn't do the Egel, so he was going to give them a thing. But there was other people also who didn't do the Egel, who stood on the side and who weren't part of it. So what was the difference between them? When the Leviim they stood next to Moshe Rabbeinu, and they said that we are going to hold on to everything that Hashem said to Moshe. We're going to hold on to Moshe. He's whatever he says, that's what we're going to do. And the other people, they sat on the side, and they didn't take part because, okay, I don't have koyach, I don't want to be part of this. It's not my thing. But they weren't as connected as the Leviim. So that's why the Leviim became the main part. They have the main part in the base. Okay, according to Chiddushei HaRim, Chazal are teaching us the difference between what it means to stand on the fence and to be at one with Hashem. The Leviim, by gathering around Moshe, made it a clear declaration that they rejected the Egel. They rejected the fact that they were making Egel, idol, yeah? And were with Hashem. They were standing with Hashem only. They were not going to have any other God, right? They actively drew him near to them. And that's what we do on Shabbos. We draw Hashem into our lives. And that's what it's saying here in the book, that it's a special kind of work that we do on a Shabbos. We work on our inner selves to be nearer to Hashem. Okay, so just like Hashem, the ultimate creator, we too are creators. To create is deeply embedded in our soul, which is a reflection of Hashem. The divine is Hashem. We have a mitzvah to emulate Hashem, which refers to his compassion and kindness, but also his creativity. We follow in Hashem's footsteps, living in the very same cycle with which he created the world. He created the physical universe for 6 days, and on the 7th, he created Shabbos. The 7th day was an essential part of the creation. It's interesting that you think of a whole week you're creating. Why is Shabbos such an essential part? You're doing nothing, really. There's no malacha. There's nothing.
Can I say?
Who's that?
No, it's Suzanne. I thought of during the week we're so busy, you get so involved in everything you can't even think about yourself. Whereas Shabbos, there's so much you've got to stop doing all those things, and you can really focus on yourself and who you want to be, and I
think that's it. Who you want to be, meant not a physical being, who you want to be spiritually.
You can't get distracted by the phone and the this and the all the things you're so busy with during the week.
Yeah, I think you're 100% right. And I think that it's also a time to really reestablish a family, because I think Shabbat, the whole week, the kids are going in and out. They have tests. They have, I don't know if any of your kids are doing GCSEs, and they have so much going on in their lives. But on Shabbos, there's none of that. That's not what they're supposed to be focusing on. We're supposed to focus on bringing the family together, on our Zmiris, on our learning together. That's what the focus would be on. And that is a spiritual focus. So that's what's important on the Shabbos. Another thing I wanted to bring out is that, the immersive experience of Shabbos gives us a frame. The immersive experience of Shabbos gives us a framework, space, and guidance to create ourselves. It gives us the wisdom to be successful in this great endeavor. It brings balance to our lives. It reminds us that we cannot only be creators and shapers of the physical world out there, that once a week, we need to pause and focus our creative energy inwards. When we cease all external creative work, we can focus instead on internal creative work and on developing ourselves and our most precious relationships. And through this process of self-creation, Shabbos rewards us with a divine recipe for finding happiness. So I think we should, for me, I would like to take out something from each week that we do this. Because it's not enough to just I'm reading it and it's very nicely written, and I'll talk about it a bit, but I think we should make a conscious effort each week to take something from what he said and bring it into our lives that Shabbos. So, and next week is Yom Tov, so I don't see we're going to get to have this again next week. But I think from this week and next week, if we could think of something that towards Shavuos we could take on a little something that we're committing in our home life on Shabbos to doing. It doesn't have to be spoken about. It's nothing everybody has to know about. It's your own thing. You know what you want to do and what you don't want to do. You know what I mean? But I wanted you to look at the cover for a second. If you look, you will see what I say. Yeah, I think so. If you all look, you see it says Shabbos in Rashi. So if you could think of, maybe for next time, if you could think of a reason why that is, because I'd love to, I know that there's a lot of thought that goes into this front cover. It's not a simple front cover. I was shocked when I started looking into why he did this, why he did that. I thought that was to me, that was quite interesting. Like he also over here, it says a day to create. And then if you see yourself is not a whole word, it's only half, you see? So there's a
I've got an idea.
Pardon?
I've got an idea. I think maybe it's to try to transform something that we do every day, like every week on Shabbat, try to transform it and make it like special and try to like get more out of it. And that's why
It's not whole.
that yourself is like, you know.
Yeah, I think that that is a
like
reason.
instead of like you would normally like see Shabbat written.
Yeah, and Shabbat, I think there's a deeper meaning to his Shabbat, because I'll ask Robin, but Robin was saying that there was a lot of thought that went into Rashi Shabbos, but if we all look into it for next time, it would be a great thing that we could, dissect the word Shabbos, why it's written that way. And yes, you're right about yourself. You're not a whole person without working on that inner self. So yourself doesn't become whole until Shabbos. That's what makes it whole, if you think about it. I mean, it's very interesting. I was saying to my husband and my father, my whole life Shabbos was in a way a work day. Not that it's a work day, but in a way it was a work day. My father's a Rav, and he's always been a Rav. So our whole life was Shabbos, was for the Kehillah. We always went to shul. There was always certain things that were expected of us on a Shabbos. So I was saying to myself, it's interesting that I still like Shabbos. Do you know what I'm saying? I find it very, very relaxing for me. But really, when I was a kid, I found it quite difficult. I mean, you'd go to shul, and you know that everyone was whispering about the rabbi or the rebbitzin, that they did this, they did that, they didn't do this, they didn't. Moshe, my brother, who's a rabbi now in Glasgow, he used to have to clean up after the kiddush, and he would be shouted at. So really, the experience of Shabbos wasn't always such an easy one, but yet I always loved Shabbos, and I always looked forward to it, and it's the most relaxing day of my week. So I was trying to, figure out what it is about the Shabbos that did that to me. Okay, my parents gave me a very good upbringing and all that. That's a given. But I think it's also because there was such holiness in it. There was so much calmness and so much the meal, everything about it, it just brings a calmness into your soul, into your inner self, more than a person screaming at you, not that you didn't clean up the table from the kiddush. It was extra than that. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? And I don't know, do any of you have a feeling like that you could express? Because I think that's what it is. What is Shabbos to us? What does it mean to us? It's not only that we rest, but in a deeper sense, we rest. Our whole selves rest. I don't know, do you, when you light the candles? For me, when I light the candles, I just automatically, just like,
relax.
Yeah. With everything. It could be we're having the biggest, loads of people are coming and everything is going on and I'm nervous. But really, when I light the candles, I definitely feel that.
I think it's also serenity that you feel.
Yeah, serenity.
Yeah. I feel that.
A calmness. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's a very deep calmness. And I think
also,
yeah. Can I just ask?
Also, you feel it's Shabbos and it's switch off.
Who is it?
Sonia.
Oh, hi. Yeah, what'd you say?
I think also, when you light those candles, you feel that calmness, you feel that serenity, you feel that tranquility, and you just feel that it's Shabbos. Yeah. And you feel that today I'm not working and I'm just spending time with my family and I'm going to shul and all the rest of it. And I think also it's also something that's you've done it for years and you just feel it.
Yeah, but you know what? I was thinking about something else. I've had people stay by my house who are totally alienated from Yiddishkeit. They have no background in it. They know nothing, really, like nothing. And I had one of them staying here, and I told them, you're not allowed to put on this, you're not allowed to do this. She said, I want to do it exactly like you do it. I said, okay, you sure? Yeah, fine, okay. Do you know, at the end of the Shabbos, it was very difficult for her, really difficult. It wasn't something that she could come to terms with doing this fully, never. I can't imagine her. It would take her years to do it. But after that Shabbos, she turned around to me and she said, I am so jealous of you. So I said, so what are you jealous of? Are you jealous that I'm resting? Because you could rest any day of the week. If you think about it, shut off your phone, shut off your television, shut off the doorbell, go into your room, close your light, you could rest. So why was Shabbos so much more than that? That's what, to me, that really, you know, she goes, no, it was more than that. So I said, what? So she said, she felt a serenity in the home. She said it was like this weird, totally different feeling.
Mm-hmm.
That was interesting to me because I was like I think I take it for granted, whereas this woman was coming from outside and she saw it. And that really made a difference to how I thought about it.
I think also if you rested on a Monday, it's not the same as resting on Shabbos. Your house isn't as clean, your food isn't as good, and you just don't have that feeling.
Yeah, that's true. That's 100% true. I think the whole thing of the getting ready for it, whether we're in our menopause and we're hiding everything in the cupboards and nobody's allowed to know that we're doing anything because we have no koyach to do anything. So we push and shove everything in the cupboards and we hope that somebody brought us the whole Shabbos because we're not going to sit there in the kitchen, right? Because we're in a very bad mood and we're screaming at everybody. But even then, the hachana, the getting ready for Shabbos is something, the taking the shower, the everything that we do it's just an amazing thing. And that, I think that's what's beautiful to think of. And like when he did this, the first Shabbos that he made in South Africa, and he writes that when they started it, he just did it for his congregation, thinking, you know what, I'll try to enthuse them about Shabbos. So he put out a thing, we're making a Shabbos, whoever wants to come to the meal, show up. And he said it took off so quickly. He could not believe how many people showed up for that one Shabbos. And they not only showed up, but some of them really stayed by other people so that they could really experience a complete Shabbos. And I think that really it's amazing. And I think that you see that throughout the world today, how many people are just really devoted to it. It's amazing. Did any of you ever go to the challah bakes or anything?
No, I didn't. But you know what? I feel that in today's world, I don't know how people survive without Shabbos, to be honest, because we are so bombarded with so many things the whole day long. You know, we are so connected but so disconnected.
Yeah, that's 100%.
You know, I think I don't know how people do it without Shabbat.
Yeah, I don't. But yet we do see a lot of people in our own community who are going away from Shabbos. So what is the secret of keeping it that people should be connected? So I think that's what we should be delving into. How to make sure that we don't have in our own homes, chas shalom, or even someone close to us. How can we make sure that it doesn't get lost, that the real meaning of it doesn't disappear? That's to me what's important, because I think that we sometimes, you know, especially if you brought up from home and it's all second nature to you, you don't always think of the deeper things about it. You just do it as you know, okay, I'm keeping kosher today. I have, you know, it's not like a, you know, I don't eat. It was funny yesterday by the meeting, if you remember, Sandra, somebody said about eating something, and she said, oh, I'll never, the smell of, what was it, prawns or something, I would never be able to eat it. And I said, actually, it's a bigger mitzvah to say that you would love to eat it, but you can't eat it because it's a halacha not to eat it. That's the mitzvah of it. But how could we like you wrote, who wrote this? I don't know who wrote it. Samsung was Cohen. Yeah, Rachel, you're right. It's the best gift ever. It is. It's Hashem gave us this gift. Yeah, and you switch off to switch on. Very good. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I couldn't read this by myself, but listening to you was really good.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, thank
Okay,
you so
very-
much. It's good to discuss it also. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah, I think we need to discuss it a little deeper, and the book, reading it it's a really very easy book. I mean, who has it? Rivki, you have it?
Yeah.
I've got it.
It's just, look how small the chapters are. Look, this is chapter 2, right? It's exactly 2 pages.
Yeah, you're right. It's right. Yeah.
Nothing. And it's so easy because of that. And that's why I picked it. I thought you can't go wrong with it. It's, just a read for yourself. And then if we go further, we'll go further. If not, we'll see. See how we do it. I just wanted to share with you that what's the lady who gave me this time the books, who sent them up from London, she's giving out these fridge magnets, and it says, "Yehi ratzon she'yibana beis hamikdash b'meher b'yameinu." May it be your will that the Beis HaMikdash be rebuilt now speedily in our days. And she has a whole thing of why she's involved in it. Because I think everybody who's doing it has something in their mind that they're doing it for. And I'm doing it in the schus of my mother. And I hope that we can all learn this. My mother was Chaisar Bas Shleim Yechia. Okay, that's our shiur finished for today. And you could definitely listen to the podcast. It was really nice, the one I did. Did any of you hear it? It was with, what's her name? Robin Meyerson. She's the one who's the head of the whole North America. And she gives out the books, and she's very involved with this whole Shabbos program. And I interviewed her, and it was so interesting to hear what she had to say. She comes from not a frum background, and she was explaining how she got involved with it and what it means to her. It was really beautiful.
Have a great
Thank you.
Shabbos.
Have a good one. Enjoy. Bye.
Thank you. Bye. Good Shabbos.